Hi friends, I am Anil. Welcome to my channel Computer Basics. In this video, we will discuss regarding various input devices, output devices, memory devices, which is inside the computer and also which are outside the computer. Inside the computer, few equipments are there, few components are there which are coming under computer definition. For example, generally we are speaking input device, output device, but when we are entering into programming, there is a term standard input device and input device, both are different. Standard input device means some input devices which are standardized. In your programming, if you are giving input through those standard those devices, it is considered as standard input. If you are giving input through other input devices, then you have to program for that. That's why these are called standard input device, which are taken by default by the computer. The standard input devices are keyboard and mouse. Only these two are standard input device. Similarly, standard output devices are monitor, printer. These are standard output devices. Means while programming, by default computer is taking monitor as standard output devices. By slight change, you can take monitor as standard output devices. Similarly, standard input computer think as keyboard first, then mouse. Okay, so these are called standard input devices. Now, what are the other input devices? In other input devices, you may tell DVD writer. It is a other input device. DVD writer is considered as both input and output device. Why? Because through DVD writer we can read and we can write both. That's why it is called both input device and output device. Okay, when you are writing something, it is output device. When you are reading from, it is input devices. Okay, similarly, pen drive is also there. You can read from and write to. Both the actions can be performed. Similarly, memory card. These are memories. Again, memory it will come. Also, these will be. This can be considered as input-output devices. Okay. Now, external memories means which memory are you are giving, you are connecting outside the system through different ports, like your external hard disk, okay. Again, pen drive is an external memory. This memory you can read from and write to both. Similarly, memory card also. This is you can read from and write to both the actions. So these are the things which are, some are standard devices and some are coming under other input output devices category, and external memory category, same thing. Now we will consider regarding the memory inside the system, inside the computer system. In my block diagram, as I have drawn, some input you are giving, it is processed. How it is processed? Temporary memory, then CPU. Okay, here permanent memory, hard disk drive. Okay, after processing, output is coming through output devices. This is the standard basic block diagram. Now here the memory is divided into some categories and some other memories are there inside it. We will discuss. So here the total memory system of the computer is divided into two parts, primary and secondary. In some books, in some cases, it is also written as main memory. So both are same, don't confuse. Main memory or primary memory, auxiliary memory or secondary memory. Okay. Now, what are coming under main memory? Only two things, RAM, ROM. Both the things we have already discussed. If you have not seen my last videos, see, it is there, RAM and ROM. In basic block diagram of computer, I have explained the purpose of RAM very clearly, and in the very first computer fundamental, I have explained ROM very clearly. So go through these videos. Next is auxiliary or secondary memory. What it is? It is the permanent memory or hard disk drive. Okay, so also it is temporary memory, it is permanent memory. Okay, now what are these two things? These two are some new things. It is entered registers and cache. What are the registers? Registers are one type of memory only, but very small in size. Where these are used? These are used inside CPU. In CPU, what we are doing, we are calculating something. So when we are calculating something, we have to store some values. To store some values, we need memory. That's why some memory, small memories are there inside the CPU. In the basic block diagram of computer, I have written three things in the CPU. First is control unit, second is ALU, third is MU. That memory unit is formed with the help of these registers only. Okay. Now this is inside the CPU. So if you are going through architecture, you will go details through it, how it is working, how you are storing data. Even electronic students who are reading microprocessors, microcontroller, when they are writing program for microprocessor and microcontroller, when they are writing assembly language programming, there they will read instructions, how we are giving instructions to CPU directly, move, add. These are using the register names. Okay, these registers are also having names. This is necessary who are reading microprocessor programming, microcontroller programming. And the last one is the cache memory. What is cache memory? Actually, what happens, out of all these memories, inside CPU some memory is there. RAM is a memory, HDD is a memory, but there is difference. What is the difference? Market hard disk drive you are getting in market in some terabytes, gigabytes. Gigabytes means more, like 512 gigabyte. Okay. Similarly, temporary memory RAM, how you are getting, in which size? 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB, like that. The registers inside CPU, these are in KB, some KB. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these three? First of all, size, and there is a concept. Size, memory concept, the base memory concept is speed increases. Speed means I am telling frequency to do work, means capability to do work. In 1 unit of time, how many tasks they can do. That is the speed or frequency, you may tell in scientific term. So speed increases when size decreases. Speed increases while size decreases. So out of these three memory, which is the very less size? Registers. So these are very fast. RAM, it is moderate speed, it is in between CPU registers and hard disk drive. So its speed also moderate. Now what is hard disk speed? It is very large in size, so its speed is very less. Now here there is a problem. What is the problem? These CPU registers, they are able to process 1000 data in 1 minute. That is the case of CPU registers, 1000 data in 1 minute. 1000 data in 1 minute. That is the capacity of CPU registers. Now what is the RAM capacity? It will be 100 data per minute. I am not writing the exactly, just I am explaining something to make you understand. That's it. It is not exactly 1000, it is not exactly 100, it depends upon the manufacturers and their speed. When you are purchasing computer, there will be some hertz you will see, that is the frequency or speed of processor. So if the speed of the CPU registers are 1000 data processing per minute, RAM will be 100 data per minute, and hard disk will be 10 data per minute. This is the problem. Now how to synchronize these things? It will send 1000 data per minute, but it is capable to receive 100 data per minute. So where other 900 data will go? There is a problem. To synchronize these things, this cache memory is developed. This one. Now what it is? It is a special type of memory, and it is having 3 levels: L1, L for level, L1, L2, L3, 3 levels. Okay. Now L1 memory, it is inbuilt inside the CPU. L1 is inbuilt inside the CPU. Remember it. Now L2 is quite larger than L1. It may be inbuilt in CPU, it may be outside the CPU. L2. So I am writing 50-50. Inside CPU 50%, outside the 50%. That means it is dependent on the manufacturer whether it will be inside the CPU inbuilt or it is outside the CPU. Okay, there is no specific rule. Now L3 will be completely outside the CPU, but before RAM. In between CPU and RAM, this will be. So whatever 900 data is more, which can't send, CPU can't send to the RAM because it is busy with 100 data. So those 900 data, if frequently asked, if CPU understands that these data are frequently asked, then CPU will store it in L1, L2, L3. Okay. Now whether CPU stores it or operating system, it is architecture concept. So for the beginners, just to understand, it is happening. Okay. Whatever frequent data is asked, but RAM is unable to accept it. At that time, CPU uses these cache memories to store those data. Okay. Now by this what happened, out of those 900 data which RAM is unable to receive, so out of those 900 data, if 400-500 data is repeatedly used, so it will be stored in L1, L2, L3. Now this storing work will be done by operating system, so that is a different concept. You the beginners just remember that those data are stored in L1, L2, L3. Now if you will compare L1, L2, L3, L1 is small in size, so it is very fast like memory registers. L2 is quite larger than L1. So if it is quite larger than L1, then speed obviously decrease. L3 is larger than L2, so L3 speed is somewhat less than L2. That is the basic term you remember. Speed increases when size decreases. This is the concept of memory. So L1 is small, L2 is something larger than that, L3 is more large. According to that, speed varies, and these are situated like this. L1 is situated is inbuilt in CPU, L2 may be inside CPU or outside CPU, L3 is outside CPU. This is the concept, and L1 is less in size, L2 is larger than L1, L3 is larger than L2. Okay, this is the basic concept of cache memory. Now like this, all this memory are divided. This is the total concept of memory. Don't confuse. In different books different terms are there. In some books it is main memory, in some books it is primary memory. So don't be confused, both are same. Why you will tell registers and cache, these are not coming under primary? No, these are not coming under primary. Primary memory is RAM and ROM only. These two are different memories. Registers is different, cache memory is different. Okay, so this is all about our memory concept and memory devices and input output devices. In the next video we will go for software basics. So I will tell you again, subscribe this channel. You will get fundamental idea of computer. Basically problem is happening when people are going to the programming. They don't have basic knowledge of computer system, how it works. They don't know what is the temporary memory, what is RAM. They don't know the block diagram of computer. Directly they will try Java program. There the problem lies. That's why I am trying to clear first these basic concepts, then we will enter. So those who are not interested to programming also, these videos, fundamental videos, you go through it. Next video I will upload regarding software fundamentals. Similarly, I will upload some internet fundamentals, networking fundamentals, which are required for general people who is using computer, who is using mobile phone, who is using internet. These things, this knowledge is required. So go through the videos. Thank you.